Great win for our guys. Especially we were up, in the last minute and a half at Siena, and let that one slip away. And we talked about teachable moments and growing, and I thought our guys did it. At the under 8-minute media timeout, I think we're down 9, and we just said let's cut to 5. At the under 4-minute media timeout, I think we had 8 straight defensive possessions that we stopped them. So I think our second half defense, especially, was really good. To out rebound that team by 10. Is a phenomenal effort. I thought we did a much better job in the glass in the second half. And then obviously these two seniors, just made some gritty plays, some heady plays, and that's what you need to do. So really satisfied. We said if we won a big game, we haven't arrived. We've got a lot of work to do. We've got to keep getting better. If we lose a game, we're not done for. But I think it's a great building block to hopefully just cement our guys' belief in our system and what we're doing and what they're capable of.
Questions? Coach Ron Bailey, HawaiiReport.com. First off, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Ron. Good to see you.
Great to see you. Talk about the efficacy of that gap-style man defense in the second half. You guys clogged it up the lane with it a little bit, and I think it put them on their hips.
Yeah, it did. And typically, and these guys, it's a little bit of adjustment because I would prefer not to have to clog it up that much and not give up threes. Normally I wouldn't want to give up 11 made threes, but we just said, we had to kind of choose our poison. And their athleticism, and obviously Epps, can get downhill. Cook is a monster inside. Styles, I think, can really get to the paint. And we just felt like we just really had to, exaggerate being in the gaps and really helping, and just try to win the battle on the glass. And it wasn't perfect, but for the most part, we did a good job.
Dave, I know you initially said that right on the shoot there that this doesn't mean you arrive or anything, but just how much does a victory like this help, given that you're in year one and you're obviously looking to build things?
I mean, I think, again, like as I said, I think it helps validate. Like, these guys have worked their rear ends off, and they've been coachable, and they've let me coach them hard. They've been responsive. These two seniors have led the way, not only in their work ethic, but also in being held accountable, in less than gentle ways from time to time, right? and so you just want to validate. These guys deserve to win, right? They've worked so hard, they've bought in, and these guys have been through some ups and downs. These two guys especially have been through some ups and downs. So I'm just really gratified, for them to see that, and as I said, hopefully now it's a building block to continue to get better.
How much did it help that you had already had real game experience at a game similar to this where you're down by so throughout the game and take the lead late? I know you didn't hold it against Siena, but tonight, how did it help that these guys have been through it?
I think it helped quite a bit because I think all those guys were kicking themselves like, we should have won that one, right? And we fought, we scratched, and we clawed, and everyone's like, oh, you guys, really showed a lot of progress, and that's all well and good, but you want to come away with a victory.
And what did you see maybe on film with Georgetown, or whether it's part of your offense, all the cuts that you were able to get 2 feet in the paint, all the finishes you had at the rim, especially in the first half? I think you had 16 paint points in the first half. Where did that success come from?
It's what we want to do. Is to touch of paint. We don't. I thought our front court guys gave us a really good effort, but we don't have like a, an old school back to the basket post up guy. So you have to score from the inside out, and we got to do it by committee. So Joe did it, Bo did it, Will Batchelder did it. Some of we got some back cuts, and that's how we have to play. Paint touch and assists by committee, not necessarily one. We don't have a point guard per se. We have 3 or 4 guys that are capable of playing with the ball and making decisions, and that's what we want to do. We got some for our guys here. They're getting bored. They're tired of listening to me talk.
I'll do 2 for Joe. John Titel from Hoops HD. 33 points, 11 boards, 0 turnovers. Number one, was this the best performance of your life? And number two, as a guy who played in Air Force, is it extra special to do it on Veterans Day?
Yeah, it's probably the best performance of my life, I would say. To do it against a Big East opponent on a special day, you know, it means a lot. And, you know, being at Air Force, you know, having that experience, you know, I was a little motivated. So just the whole national anthem, seeing the like ROTC come out, that was cool for me. And I just had to take a moment. So, you know, it was definitely a big performance, but if we didn't win, like, I don't know. Just happy we won, happy we did it for Coach Paulson and the guys.
Bo, I'll throw a couple your way. First off, just you know, defensively, what did you think kind of switched for you guys there in the last 8 minutes or so? And secondly, having been through a few seasons here, you know, just how meaningful is it to get a victory like this?
Yeah, defensively, we just, you know, followed what Coach said. We played in our gaps a little more than we usually do. And, you know, we just hustled on the rebounds. We, like I said, was plus 10 on the boards. So it was just credit to our, you know, hard work and everything in practice. And, you know, it's a big just, you know, being here. And for 4 years, senior is just the biggest one in my life. So, you know, I'm just happy. All glory to God.
Number one, first off, how do you pronounce your last name?
Octave. Yeah.
Okay. Were you surprised that they didn't really run and jump at you when you were in Fuego, when you got hot? Were you expecting like doubling to get the ball out your hands?
I was expecting it a little bit. They kind of switched up their coverage. They went ice on me and Bo for the most part. So they did change it up, but like I said, we've played through a lot of scenarios. Coaches prepared us for these moments, and we just continue to make, you know, in-game progression. So.